Osvaldo, thank you so much for inviting me down to your site, Symach in Bologna. It's my first time to Bologna. We met on LinkedIn, didn't we?
Correct. We had a meeting, first meeting in LinkedIn.
And then we did a video call, which lasted, I think, half an hour, 40 minutes, something like that. It was really nice.
Yeah, and we met each other and also in the way to think. So I invited him to come in Bologna to visit Symach and to test our product and to give us a suggestion.
And it's been a real eye-opening week for me. I've learned a lot, and I worked with Marcello, worked with the team here, Osvaldo and Coralie and Raphael, and then the rest of the team, as you've seen. And we're going to sum that up shortly, but first I just want to ask Osvaldo a few questions about how he got to where we are now. Osvaldo, please let me know a little bit more about your business, because I only know what I found on the internet and what I've experienced here this week.
Oh yes, that is an interesting story. I never had an accident in my life.
Touch wood.
Okay.
Yeah.
But because I was in transport field involved, so express courier, but in 2001 I bought a small company that was in bankrupt from the bank that was developing a technology to dry paint.
What made you decide to just buy a business that was going to be going bankrupt?
0 employee, 0 customer, 0 everything. Just an idea.
You?
Just me. When I opened was a 300 square meters warehouse.
And what have you got now?
16,000.
Okay. Right.
Okay, square meters. 160,000 square feet. And I hired an engineer, I established a relationship with the Bologna University to develop the technology. I hired the first technician, so we developed the first robot that was a very primitive product.
Which is what led on to the fly dry.
That arrived later. The first one was RoboDry.
RoboDry.
Yes, the most difficult machine. I didn't start from the easy one, I started from the most complicated.
But that's the best way, isn't it? You learn from your mistakes.
Yes. And I was in any way, also in my previous business, interested in process more than in product itself.
Mm-hmm.
So immediately developed the SPP, Symach Paint Application Process, to reduce time. And then I developed 1-2 new products per year. And so when we arrived around 2008, we were ready to supply and to sell a complete concept, a complete body shop.
Is that when fixed line came into
Yes, exactly.
involvement? Right, okay.
Yeah. Fixed line is not one product, is a solution.
Okay. Yes. You've probably seen the video with regards to the fixed line. Marcello is a technical trainer here, we did the process taking us through the fixed line. There's a couple of sections that we didn't use because obviously this is a technical training center and that's not part of the line in this center. But you get a really good idea of how it moves from one bay to the next bay, given each employee or tech his own responsibility for that section.
Correct. Is like an assembly line in the factory.
Yeah.
Is a modern way, is an industrialized way to repair car. Now I told you my story, and what do you think about your week in Symach?
Well, let's go back to our LinkedIn email that you sent me. I was really surprised to get that. Obviously, that sort of came about because of your UV light, didn't it?
Yeah.
And Stephen Healer getting in touch with me. So it opens the door, and I was really interested, and I was genuinely taken aback by the invite because it's the first time that something like that's ever been offered to me. And I thought to myself, and I showed you on the video when we had the conference call.
Yeah.
I said, you know that I only work in a small little workshop. It's just me here, and I gave Osvaldo a quick little tour around my workshop, and I said, look, please don't expect that I'm coming from a big fancy workshop to you. And in fairness, I'm not even in the field that you cater for, really.
Yes.
So it was quite a humbling invite, and I'm still really appreciative of it. But my week, I'm going to sum this up also in a little video later, just a whole video. But to answer your question, it's been a real eye-opener for me. I can see where the processes can be implemented into larger shops. It obviously can't be used in my sort of scenario, but then I am quite a unique scenario because it's just me. I specialize in smart repairs. I don't have the turnover of vehicles that makes this a profitable business.
Yeah.
But saying that, that does not mean that there are not products that you have that I can't take away with me and use. So like the UV technology, which I'm already implementing in my repairs. And we've sort of come up with some new designs on that, which I'm looking forward to seeing. And there's also the Drytron, which is a small gas infrared lamp. Again, you may have seen that in my videos. That's something that I can incorporate in my smart repair center, and I can see that being beneficial to curing filler or bondo, like the Americans want to call it. So it's been really, really nice. It's my first time ever to work in a spray booth. Believe it or not, 20 years I've been doing this business. I am self-taught, but to be able to spray in a spray booth with Marcello was quite an experience. Just the way things dried quickly and went on. So I've learnt a lot, and I've really appreciated my opportunity to be invited here.
My pleasure. Wait, never say never that in the future you will become an owner of a big network body shop, large body shop in the world. Can happen.
It can happen, but I don't know. I kind of like my little world, really. I like the opportunity to come out and see people like you, and look, let me just say this to you guys. I like a stress-free life. Okay, so this week's not been stress-free. We've done quite a lot in our working day from 8 to 5, and it's started off nice and cool in the morning, and then the temperatures built up. Marcello and I have got our suits on, we're in the booth, we're sweating. All the good videos that I've done with Osvaldo have been in the morning when it's nice and cool and we look fresh, not when we're absolutely hanging. And you've experienced that, haven't you? You've been really good. Like Marcello, you've been really good. We've had take after take, but we've had fun. Would you say we've had fun?
Absolutely.
Have you found my visit beneficial?
Absolutely, because the value of the person is not about the dimension of the business that he has. Is about the idea that he has, and you have a lot of a good idea, and you give us a lot of good suggestion for our product. That is the value. And
I want to say, just add on to that, I know I have commented on this when I did the tool cart video, and just a couple of the suggestions that we came up with it. I liked that. I liked that I could suggest something to you, and you took it on board, and it just wasn't blah blah blah. So that was good. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Osvaldo, have you got any projects coming up in the future?
Yeah, I love R&D, so research and development. I built a company to have this role, and so we have in the pipeline 4 products very important for next year to reduce the number of hours per car, so improving efficiency and so on.
Something I can see?
You have to wait.
Oh!